today's session, I'll introduce you to the ADIT program. This is the first session in the series of number of teleconferencing sessions which we are going to have on ADIT programs. But since you are new to ADIT program, this is your first session, so I would like to introduce you to various aspects of this particular program. Let us begin with what exactly the model of delivery as far as this virtual campus model is. Let us try to identify what are the basic aspects of this particular model of delivery. Well, the first thing in the model is the courseware. What we have is electronic courseware for you. The electronic courseware consists of the units, which will be around 3000 words along with necessary amount of graphics and slideshows. The slideshows mostly are the already recorded sessions which will be made available at your telelearning centers. In fact, they must be available. You can check as per the list of available videos at your telelearning centers, which you can view at your own convenience. So these are the two basic components of electronic courseware. Well, the first thing in the model is the courseware. What we have is electronic courseware for you. The electronic courseware consists of the units, which will be around 3000 words along with necessary amount of graphics and slideshows. The slideshows mostly are the already recorded sessions which will be made available at your telelearning centers. In fact, they must be available. You can check as per the list of available videos at your telelearning centers, which you can view at your own convenience. So these are the two basic components of electronic courseware. Then you will also be going through the reference material. The reference material, there are several types of reference materials which you can get access to from your telelearning center. The very first type of reference material is electronic references. By now you must be familiar that there is a starter kit for you available on the website, starter kit for ADIT students. Now if you look into that particular starter kit, what you are going to find, there are detailed discussion sessions, like what exactly are to be discussed in a particular session as from the theoretical point of view, practical sessions, what exactly is to be done during the practical sessions, some brief of that is also mentioned, and in addition you will find there are mention of websites which you can refer and find more information as far as a given course, subject or unit is concerned or a topic is concerned. So that kind of references are already had been provided in your starter kit. You can refer to those good sites, good references from your telelearning centers. The second thing you will find that we have provided some web-based encyclopedia-based references. So you can go through those web-based references as far as some additional inputs are concerned relating to ADIT program. We have also tried to make several books arranged at your telelearning centers, which at your own convenience you can, they can be made accessible in the library. So you can visit the library of your telelearning center and do the necessary reference book searching and studies using the reference books. Now all these materials is available. There will be a number of theoretical sessions which will be conducted at your center. However, how to study, in what format to study, from what point onwards to study, well, all that thing has been bound and put once again into your starter kit in the form of a schedule, where we have categorically stated that each week which block you are going to read, and each week what practical activities or what practical component you must undertake, so that you can formulate or you can go through a typical way of study at your telelearning center and you get maximum benefit from this particular program and whatever the facilities we have made available for you at the telelearning center. One important thing I would like to point out here is the concept which we have introduced, the last line which you see here, the activities, and we call it the searcher. Basically, the objective here to say is we have identified certain activities not only at the week level, that is the schedule, but even at the level of day. So for a week we have chalked out a 5-day program. You have to visit our website www.ignou.ac.in to look into the details relating to the activities. What you will explore? The virtual campus, and in virtual campus you will go to ADIT program, where you will find all these details put under a tab. So you must go through those kinds of activities which will give you an input of how exactly to proceed in the program, what is to be done every day, and if you are able to do those activities, you will be able to do justice to this particular program. And that is the essence of why we are trying to talk about or take this particular induction session. As far as student support is concerned, what is the model? Well, from the point of view of student support, you will have discussion sessions and practical sessions at your TLC on academic and administrative front. You will have academic support as well as administrative support from your telelearning center. We from the headquarter will do live Gyan Darshan sessions, and as per rough calculation you will get about one session per course. However, if you are feeling that a particular topic is troubling you too much, then you can send a request to us and we would like to take a session on that particular topic if we feel that this is the problem of all the students. Well, so we will have Gyan Darshan and live sessions just like the one which we are having right now. Then you have already been, as I told you, the recorded video CDs have already been made available at your telelearning centers. So you can view these recorded CDs, a schedule as per the schedule given by the telelearning centers, or you can have some mutual discussion as per these CDs are concerned. In addition, you will also be, you can also email to us for any kind of academic or administrative support, and you will definitely get an answer within 2 to 3 days time, depending on the load and the number of queries we obtain. One important point which I would like to emphasize here is that the starter kit which has been created by us is entirely meant for you. You must go through the starter kit in complete, because it is going to answer many of your queries which you would like to ask us. So before, any clarification on the starter kit, you can ask us. But if something is available in the starter kit, we will advise you to go through the starter kit, and it will unnecessarily waste your and our time if a query which has already been answered is asked once again. The starter kit not only is providing the detail of the sessions, the practice sessions and so on and so forth, but it is also providing a set of model question papers for last year or so. So you can get access to those question paper and get the detail about the various aspects relating to conduct of this particular program. But one thing it comes, like what we are providing you is that you can contact us, you can mail us your queries, academic as well as administrative. As far as academic queries are concerned, you will find onto your website there is a clear-cut section where academic query section is being given, and where against every course, suppose you have a problem in a particular course, an email address is being mentioned, and on that email address you can mail your particular academic query for an answer. However, for your general queries, you must use adit@ignou.ac.in. This is the account which we keep on checking almost every second or third day and try to answer your query within 48 to 64 hours. Now, this is the basic model of delivery for the program. What about the evaluation structure of this particular program? Well, from the evaluation point of view, you have two components of evaluation. We will be evaluating you very rigorously, and these two components of evaluations are continuous evaluation and term end examination. The continuous evaluation forms the 25% of your overall evaluation. It consists of something called assignments. There are two types of assignments. One is tutor marked assignments and one is project assignment. For all your courses, each course have one tutor marked assignment and one project assignment, and they are evaluated, submitted at your TLC only. And for project assignment, you undergo a viva voce, and sometimes you might have to undergo a viva voce for tutor marked assignments also. As far as term end examinations are concerned, the weightage to the term end examination is 75%. Most of the term end examinations, there are two components, theory examination and practical examination. Out of 12 courses of ADIT, you have 7 courses in which there is a practical examination. So definitely the ADIT program is very heavy from the point of view of practice is concerned. As far as theory examinations are concerned, there is a weightage of 50% given to theory examinations, where there is a practical examination, and where there is no practical examination, there is a weightage of 75%. Similarly, practical examination, if they exist, then 25% weightage is there, so overall is 75%. So these are the two components of evaluations. The trimester end examinations are conducted at the end of each trimester, and all the examinations for all the courses are conducted during these trimester end examinations. Now, what is the criteria for evaluation of passing a course? Well, we had tutor marked assignments, project assignments. Now, what we have made, that we have made everything compulsory. So, if you want to complete a course, then you need to get 4 marks out of 10 in the tutor marked assignment, 6 out of 15 minimum in the project assignment, and minimum if of 20 marks out of 50 in theory examination, or if it is of 75 marks, then 30 marks, and in the practical examination you need to obtain 10 marks. However, you must obtain a minimum of 50 marks in a course. For example, if you have got just minimum in all, then it will just get total to 40 marks. So you don't have to pass everything at minimum. the overall in a course has to reach 50%. So that is the criteria of passing a course. And passing a program then obviously is that you have to pass all the courses as per the norm. So this is what the basic evaluation criteria as far as your ADIT program is concerned. Now what about that term end examination? That is a very standard way of evaluating the students. But what about assignments? Well, most of the universities, even formal universities, do have the practice of conducting tutorials. However, in our case, we are dealing with assignments. What are the basic objectives of these assignments? Well, these assignments, as far as we are concerned, are the teaching tools. If they are done properly, gives a complete understanding of the course which is being undertaken. What do I mean by saying these two things? Well, first of all, what you should understand that when you will go through your schedule, you will find that the assignments are staggered in such a fashion that as soon as you complete the studies and the practice relating to a particular course, immediately 1 or 2 weeks afterwards, you are supposed to submit the assignment of that particular course. Why we have done so? You have undertaken certain exercises, certain studies for a particular course. Now in a trimester, there are 4 months. Do we evaluate you only towards the end? No. We would like to keep a continuous evaluation of yours so that from time to time we can be in touch and can tell you what were the drawbacks. Maybe in the form of just the assignment marks or the marks which you have obtained in a particular assignment. So keeping all these things in mind, we treat assignments as the major teaching tools which continuously put you, as far as studies are concerned, keeps you awake. Therefore, it is very important that you must do assignments from your own efforts. That is what is going to, the assignments definitely are designed in such a fashion that the complete courseware is covered in the assignment. Right? So you are able to go through the complete courseware when you are answering a particular question, and your understanding gets reflected in the assignment and project definitely. So this is a very novel method, model method of evaluating your progress in between. Okay. Further on, assignments must be attempted separately. All students must attempt the assignment separately, and additional help should be sought from the internet. It's not that you will just read the material and just do the assignments. No. Our request is that you must try to explore either the net-based references or library-based references and try to attempt your assignments in whatever maximum capacity you can put effort to. That is the effort you must put for your assignments. Finally, a brief word. Keeping the importance of assignments in mind, please make sure that you do a good job of them. They are very important for you. They are very important for us also, as far as knowing how much you have gone through as far as contents are concerned, how much you are able to assimilate, how much you are able to get, and what more information we should provide so that your doubts and your problems as far as assignments are concerned are eliminated. In fact, the presentations which we are going to have from the headquarters as far as in Gyan Darshans are concerned, most of them will be covering some aspects relating to assignments. So you will be able to find that those sessions will be extra help given to you for attempting your assignments of your own. Now, this is in nutshell what the model of delivery as far as ADIT program is concerned. Now let us look into some of the course specific details of ADIT which you are going to have in the first trimester in fact. Now what do we have in the first trimester? What is the basic objective of the first trimester? Let us go through the basic aim of the first trimester, and that is to develop the environment and the paradigms for problem solving using computers. Now please note, what we are trying to communicate here is that in the first trimester you should try to inculcate problem solving skills using computers with the help of various paradigms which are available. There are programming languages which are vehicles for making that particular thing to happen. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to solve problems, coming up with solution to various problems. They may be let's say Fibonacci series, development of Fibonacci series, summing up an array, those kinds of problems, maybe implementation of a data structure. And what you are trying to find that how best you can solve these problems using various programming languages. The attempt should be that you should learn to solve the problem, and language should become the enabling tool and not the attempt which is normally the case, that first you try to learn the language and then try to solve a problem. The attempt should be problem solving and use a language that it is a vehicle to solve a particular problem. I mean, it is something like putting in this particular way, that it is, you may express yourself in Hindi, English or any other language, but the first idea is what content you want to express. So content is, as per us, as per our norms, are the prime important thing, and definitely language plays an important role in computer science, but it should be automatically be helping you in doing that particular activity, and that's how the learning of language will become quite consistent with your problem solving nature. Okay. Now what are the courses which you are undertaking in this particular first trimester? Well, there are 4 courses which you must be knowing. One is Introduction to Information Technology, Object-Oriented Systems, Data Structures and Algorithms, and Visual Programming. Now, all the courses, since you are new to, or some of you may be new to the environment of problem solving, may find it slightly difficult. In that particular case, the only solution is putting in as much efforts as you can in these cases, solving as many problems as you can in such environments. And I can tell you, like, the more efforts, after all, what you must perceive, that the program of ADIT is attempting that after 1 year you should be able to do basic level of software development. Now, software development activity normally is perceived either at MCA level or BTech level. Now, in 1 year program, if you want to become a sort of employable oriented person or employment oriented person, then definitely you have to put lot of efforts, and that is where ADIT is definitely going to be heavy. But then the heaviness is once again desirable keeping in mind that I want to become some sort of at least knowledgeable person who can attempt solutions of problems using computers at various levels in the industry. Well, so what is, to begin with, what is the first course which we are offering you? We are offering you an Introduction to Information Technology course. Well, what are the objectives of that course? Well, objectives are to introduce you to basic concepts of computers such as hardware, software and associated terminology. Number 2, to introduce the concepts of operating system, to introduce the concepts of software engineering and introduction to Unix operating system. So how we are proceeding in this particular course? Well, we are proceeding in this particular course in a very simplified fashion. First, we are trying to tell you what exactly is available. What is the basic terminology? Well, what you are going to find, the computer terminology is basically meant to maybe at some point of time to confuse you, but there are no great concepts behind those terminology. In fact, most of the terminology which are used in computer sciences have been derived from plain English. So if you have good knowledge of English, you will be able to understand the meaning at least of what a particular term means and how exactly that particular term can be understood in the context of computers. You won't find there are major differences as far as logic nature of that particular, logical meaning of that particular term is concerned. So our attempt is just to introduce you to that particular terminology. Once you are familiar with the terminology, then we would like to introduce you to one of the most important software, which, I mean, beyond which, or if it is not there, then you can do nothing with your computers, and that is the operating system. Now, operating system can be explored at two levels. One, from the practice point of view. Most of you must have seen a computer by now, or even earlier you must have seen a computer in your. Now, whenever you switch on a computer, something like Windows or something, some operating system takes the control of the computer and is readily accessible to you. But are you just interested in that kind of a platform that, okay, this is the operating system now available to me, or are you interested in looking beyond it? What exactly operating system do? What exactly are the features of the hardware, right? And what are the basic components of the computer system? What an operating system components are, okay? And how I can interact with various kinds of operating system, and going slightly deeper into the details of it, so that if anything goes wrong with your computer, you should, with your theoretical and practical knowledge and relationship between these two knowledge, you should be able to come up with some sort of solution. And that is what is problem solving, right? So what we are trying to give you a slightly deeper know-how of what the operating system of a computer is, and then we expect you to go through the basic, one of the basic operating system, which is Unix operating system. Windows 95, most of you can become very familiar with, I mean, a little bit of experience or so. But Unix operating system, why we are trying to explore, because that is one of the industry standard. When you go to industry, what you are going to find, Linux or Unix operating systems, and onto that you will find some advanced database management system running. Okay, so those kinds of platforms you definitely have to see. So keeping in those kinds of requirements in mind, we expect that you must go through a robust operating system, and in this particular case, Unix operating system. We don't expect you to master it, but at least you should have a working knowledge of these kinds of operating system. Well, the skills. what kind of skills we expect you to develop after this course if you have taken undergone course 1. Well, we expect you to identify and correlate concepts and terminology of computer hardware and software, relating the operating system concepts to an actual operating system, and working with an actual operating system. So these are the 3 basic skill levels which we expect you to relate. I'll cite a very simple example at this juncture. Think that you have undergone the terminology like hardware terminology like central processing unit, like memory, like input-output devices. Now when we talk to people, some of the the people who are doing some of the courses of computers, and we ask them, where is the processor? Some of them cannot relate the central processing unit to the processor which exists in on your motherboard, which is lying on your desktop machine. Now that is the kind of relationship, that is the minimum level of relationship which we expect from our students to undertake. Okay, so not only learn the concepts, but try to relate them to an actual situation, and that is what is the essence of any program, and in fact the essence of this particular course, that you are able, after going through the terminology, try to find out where exactly that kind of a thing exists. One common term called bus, which exists on a computer, is very difficult to find. Well, you will come to know where exactly that particular thing is. Okay, so all those kinds of relationships have to be looked into. Similarly, operating system. When we say multitasking operating system, what exactly it means? So you got to relate theory as well as the practical component, right? And once you can do that, you have done a lot of, you have understood the basic essence or basic practical essence of a particular program. And definitely the working knowledge of Unix we have already committed, and that is something which you have to do, have to undertake. Now the third question which we always ask ourselves, how to get all this information from this particular course? Well, what we say here is there need to be coordinated learning. Activities of day should be explored. Assignments should be undertaken individually. References should be explored. Now, coordinated learning, we have always assumed that there has to be a coordination between theory as well as practice which you are undertaking. You study and practice and relate the two. Activities of the day, you must explore. Try to find out what exactly you are supposed to do it. Okay? Assignments, once again, assignments will always be told to you. You do assignments of your own. Frankly speaking, the date of assignment submission is not the time when you, or 1 or 2 days before that, you start working on assignment. That's not the time. But the date of working of assignment is the time, from which you start reading about a question of a given in the assignment, and you are reading it at the time of study. Assignment gives a perspective to the question which has been, or a perspective to the question and the way you want to study, along with the activities. So all these things should be put under in a coordinated fashion, and you will be able to get best out of this particular course. References. In fact, please note one particular thing. No course in computer science can be called a complete course. The way technology has grown, the way the technology has moved, you will find that new developments in all the areas are very, very common, and then you have to keep pace with them. The habit of keeping pace is to be inculcated during the course of this program. I surely believes that you must be having that particular habit with you. But in case you do not, then inculcate, and this is the right time to do it. The program is progressive, and you can definitely go through various aspects in a much in a much better fashion in these kinds of things. The days where that this is the content you read and pass does not apply as far as any computer science program is concerned. So this is what you have to do as far as the introduction to information technology course is concerned. Now, once you are familiar with the basic concepts of computers, its terminology, and the basic operating system, then you are ready to be given a style of solving or problem solving using computers. To give you a very simple example, suppose we are dealing with the software of a library. Now, all of us knows that if I am talking about library, I would like to organize the catalogs in some kind of indexes. Indexes may be the book-based indexes, or indexes may be, let's say, author-based indexes. Both kinds of indexes can be there. Let's assume these are author-based indexes. Now, all of us knows that the author-based indexes are there. Now, if I am asking you to find a particular book written by a particular author, then how you will go around? You will try to look into the index cards and go directly to the place which is very close to this particular author's name. For example, if author name is, let's say, Stallings, then we will immediately go to index card of S, and from there onwards we'll go to ST, and so on and so forth. So that search becomes very, very fast. Don't we expect the similar thing in computers? Or we will solve this particular problem in computer through a sequential search, that you start from the record 1 and go to the towards the last records and encounter the name Stalling in between. Well, in computer also, I would like to implement it using something called binary search, where I search in the middle and try to see if it is in the area which is less or greater than. That is, divide the whole problem space into 2 and try to continue with my search in a smaller space or half space, and so on and so forth. Now, this is something, the technique, the optimization techniques which we follow in our day-to-day life for day-to-day problems have to be extended to computers, and all the solutions which we have in general probably may not be directly applicable to computers. Some of them will be directly applicable, some of them might have to be put by or explored by us and will be converted into the computer. Well, there are certain standard types of problem solutions or structures by which you can organize your data in computer exists, and that is what is data structure. In data structure, not only the structures are standard, but how to go about, like how to insert, how to delete, how to search from those data structure, those processes are also very standard. Only thing is your problem domain may change. Okay, your number of records may change, your structure of the record structure may change, but the data, how you are organizing your data might not change. That is where we are attempting the knowledge of data structures to solve a problem. And that is what the course which you have in your program, that is data structure and algorithms. Now, data structure and algorithms, we would like to define the importance of data structures, to code a data structure into a program, to identify a paradigm for procedural problem solving. What we do in procedural problem solving? We identify the steps for solving a problem using computer, and data structure become the vehicle for that particular problem solution. So this is what it looks very simple, but then there are very many complicated issues available in data structure. Study them with this context, that if you can master them, you will be able to master most of the problem solutions without much of a difficulty. Okay, the skills to be developed: to identify a given problem situation, design the solution with proper identification of data structures, and implementation. Now, in the case of implementation, you got to do a lot with the help of a programming language. The first programming language which you should experience is C programming language, because it supports procedural paradigm of problem solving. And that is what for database data structure implementation you can use C language. Now, how to do it? The basic mantra for doing this is practice, practice and practice. Then sharpen your skills of general problem solving. Use of reference material is most desirable. Do a number of problem solving activities, initially as a team and then individually. So what you can do is you can solve as many problems as you can. Many problems are available in your text, in your references. Try to solve as many problems as you can. It's definitely going to benefit you. The more you do practice, the better it is going to be. Remember, there is no good mantra for the knowledge of data structure or mastering data structure. The only mantra in this particular case is the simple practice, practice. Okay? And solve as many problems as you can. Now, one of the questions which is asked is, what are the problems, or what are the problems do I attempt? Well, the answer is use problem from activities, identify problem in consultation with TLCs, pick up problems from reference materials. So once again, what we are trying to say here is that you have to pick up problems, solve it. Now, please note something here, that there is no harm in doing that in a group that you solve some problems. Okay, but those problems are not the assignment problems. Assignment problems must be attempted individually to test the level you have attained. And that is one of the most important factor to ascertain the progress of yours in this particular curriculum or this particular program. Okay, so once again, you must attempt to solve as many problems as possible in the course of data structures. Now, once you are familiar, conversant with the data structures and procedural problem solving, then we move on to the domain of object-oriented technologies. Well, in object-oriented technologies, we have made available to you is object-oriented programming. What are the objectives of object-oriented programming? Well, the basic objectives are to introduce a new paradigm of problem solving, to identify the methodology of designing of problem solution, analyzing and designing using objects, and implementations using object-oriented programming languages. Now, what we are trying to indicate here or tell you here is object-oriented programming methodology is a new paradigm as far as problem solution is concerned. Now, this is more based on coordinated way of problem solving in a way that if a task is to be done, completed, then you can divide it into several tasks, and then each task can be entrusted with a specialized object, and later on they interact and try to present a solution to complete solution to this particular to a particular problem. Now, there are many more concepts which are related with object-oriented programming and solutions using object-oriented programming. Our objective is to familiarize you with not only the concept of object-oriented designing, but our objective is that you are able to construct classes or objects from that point of view, objects and classes, and you are able to relate objects and classes to a typical solution. Portability and related factors being the prime factor in the object-oriented programming and object-oriented analysis. So, what we expect from you is that you are able to understand the problem and try to propose objects and then object-based solutions to that particular problem. Now, what are the skills to be developed into this particular context? Well, object-oriented problem analysis and design may be the first skill which you would like to develop, and then implementations using C++. So what we expect from you, that not only you try to solve using or analyze problems, but also are able to solve problems or implement problems using C++. Now, how to do it? Well, once again, the basic mantra is practice. Take problems, especially what you have solved earlier, including data structure, and solve it using object-oriented methodology. In fact, this is a very good method that whatever you know till date, in fact you know C, if you have mastered C, if you have understood C well, then moving on to C++ from the procedural point of view is quite easy. From the object point of view, understand the method of object-oriented analysis and design. Okay, and try to use the knowledge of procedural, whatever you have obtained, and try to convert it into the object-oriented programming paradigm or problem solution paradigm. So that is the way of relating things further on. Okay, so that is the way you are going to progress in the object-oriented analysis design and implementation using object-oriented stuff. Well, so what we have done, or what we have understood by now, is that our course is a gradual progress towards various modes and ways of solving problems. And in that particular context, we have reached to the object-oriented problem solving method or solution. Now, visual programming is another attempt to further enhance the knowledge of object-oriented program solution or program development. Well, the basic objective in that particular case is to develop the basic skill of a front-end development tool, and which is just to elaborate a bit here, that over here our attempt is that this particular tool is object-oriented, related to object-oriented programming skills. So you have moved to that particular domain where you can utilize the concepts which you have already understood and try to work out or work with the domain where we are dealing with lots of objects, probably not constructing those but using it. So the inside story has already been told to you, and what you are doing is the practice of that particular thing. Now, what are the skills which you will be developing? Well, you will be using Visual Basic to solve problems. So this is the prime skill which you will be developing after undertaking CST 104. Now, this is in nutshell, and how to do it once again the only mantra in this particular case is practice, practice and practice. But to sum up what exactly we are trying to talk to you about this particular program delivery, well, what we are trying to tell you basically what you are expected to do and what you should do, and what are the courses which we have perceived for you, how these courses have been structured for you so that you are able to get best out of these courses. Some basic tips which we would like to pass on to you before you actually do a lot of exercises at your telelearning centers. The first of them is you must study at home. Well, in this particular context, let me share with you that we will be providing the CDs to your telelearning centers. In a 1 to 2 days time, we will dispatch the CDs to your telelearning centers, and you can, within a week's time, you will be in a position to take the CD to your home. The CD contains most of the course material, in fact, which has been uploaded onto the website ignu.ac.in under Virtual Campus under ADIT. So it contains most of that particular course material. It does not contain the starter kit. There are many more recent presentations. They are not there into the CD, so those things you can get downloaded at your telelearning centers and use them. All the presentations which we'll be making during the course of time, their slideshows will also be put onto the net, and any additional material we will highlight additional material and highlight it with a tab of new. Those also you can download from this particular site. But most of the course material has been made available in the CD, and you should try to read through those particular CDs as much as possible. Do a lot of problem solving. Under this context, do as much problem solving as you can with the help of your friends, in a group, okay, except for assignment, but you must do as much problem solving as you can. In fact, the overall time of study, if you see, in a week's time, minimum 30 hours or maybe 40 hours are to be devoted, out of which most of the time, like 12 to 13 hours or 15 hours, you will be devoting at the tele-learning centers. Remaining 20 or 24 hours or 20 hours minimum, 20-25 hours, you should try to devote minimum 3 to 4 hours a day. Extra time you should try to devote for your studies towards problem solving. This is going to, and believe it, the more you put, I mean, this is bare minimum. If you put these 4 to 5 hours, you are able to do justice to your program. The more you do, the better it will be for you. Come prepared for discussion and practical sessions. There are going to be many theory and practical sessions which will be made available to you at the telelearning centers. Directly coming to those particular sessions, thinking that there will be lectures and they will be telling us what to do, probably will not do justice to that particular session. You know what are the topics to be covered. Do you have your starter kit available to you? You can even talk to your counselor beforehand, 1 week in advance, 2 days in advance, 3 days in advance. Study, read about it, think about it, talk in a group about it, and then talk to your counselor about it. Okay? Submit assignments as per schedule. The more you are regular with your assignment submission, the better you will be able to do as far as this particular program is concerned. Remember, this program is not going to be like other programs where you just study towards the end of the trimester and you are able to cope up with it. No. There are many things to be done. There are many activities to be done. There are a lot of learning activities to be undertaken. There is a lot of logical development which has to undertake, and there are many problem solving skills, those are to be developed. All that will be possible in a gradual fashion over the period of 2 to 3 or 4 months, 3 months time. Remember, problem solving skills using computers are most important for you. Once again, we are highlighting this particular point. The problem solving skills using computers are going to be extremely, important skills for you. There are 2 basic steps which you have to undertake in this 2 to 3 or 4 months time. That is, first, how a problem can be solved using computers. Number 2, how that problem can be coded into with the help of programming languages. The more you practice, the more you run practice, or the more you do debugging of program in your 2 hours, the better it is going to be. So, not only solve problems, but implement them too. Implement at least 2 to 3, 4, 5, as many in each session, and that is going to give you best of this particular program. With this, I would like to end this particular session. Once again with the reminder that do lot of problem solving activities and do lot of implementation oriented activities to get best of this particular program. Bye for today. Thank you.